All right, guys, welcome back to another video. So we got some pretty big news here in terms of acquisitions. As we know, this generation, at least I think, has been completely dominated by acquisitions. You have the Xbox ones with Bethesda, with Activision Blizzard. You have PlayStation with Bungie and the smaller acquisitions they've made. Then you have the Embracer Group that seemingly goes out and tries to get their hands on whatever they can, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. You also have bigger players in there like Tencent who are continuously trying to grow and be major players. Then you have the Saudi funded groups that are trying to be huge in gaming, knowing that gaming is a massive market. It's a medium that continues to grow and is going to be the biggest medium out there for years and years to come, especially as mobile gaming grows. Now we have cloud gaming coming in. It's just going to be a huge moneymaker, and these groups are trying to make some of that money. Now, back in May, we heard that a major deal fell apart, and this was between Embracer and an unknown entity. And now we know that unknown entity is a Saudi-funded Savvy Games, who had struck a deal with Embracer for $2 billion, and then on the final day essentially backed out of the deal. It says here that in the May note, Embracer said that the parties had reached a verbal commitment in October 2022 that would have resulted in more than $2 billion in contracted development revenue over a period of 6 years. All documentation was finalized and ready to go as of yesterday, the company said, and they're talking, this was back in May. And they say, we asked for the execution of the agreement before our Q4 announcement. However, late last night, we received a negative outcome from the counterparty. While Axios sources were clear about who the deal was with, they were less certain about why Savvy walked away. So we have no idea why they ended up walking away from this deal, but they did. And this sent the Embracer stock and everything plummeting, and they had to go into a bunch of cost-cutting measures. And it's all because this deal fell through with the Savvy Fund of Savvy Games. Now, this just really shows, I think, why we are seeing all of these acquisitions from Microsoft, even from PlayStation. They're going to continue to try to acquire. It's because there are huge players coming into this industry right now trying to make big dents, and they have essentially unlimited money, so much money to be able to spend that they are going to be able to make big deals and big acquisitions to be able to compete directly with the major players of Microsoft and PlayStation and Nintendo. In fact, I believe even there's a group that from Saudi that invests in Nintendo, keeps investing in Nintendo. They have all that money, and Microsoft knows to be able to continue to compete with these major players, to be able to continue to compete with a company like Tencent coming in and continuing to grow, they're going to have to get as much content as possible and continue added to subscription, to cloud gaming, all of that type of stuff, and really get into the mobile space, which is the main reason they keep saying for the Activision Blizzard acquisition. We take a quick look here at Savvy Games. One of their biggest ones is the $4.9 billion acquisition of Scopely, who is known for their mobile games. They have some major mobile games under them. In fact, if we look down here, just to name a few, they are the makers of Marvel Strike Force and Scrabble Go. Obviously, those games probably take in a ton of money to be valued there at $4.9 billion. So this is the company that Embracer was looking to deal with. We've seen Embracer do some stuff here, even working with Square Enix, purchasing their Western studios and then actually flipping them later with IPs like Tomb Raider and Deus Ex, which they had acquired. So lots going on within the gaming industry. And this really shows, to me at least, that this isn't the end of the acquisitions. I know Activision Blizzard for Xbox specifically is massive, but I believe they are going to continue to try and go out and buy more companies as we go through. And there will be some more purchases across the board from PlayStation, maybe even from Nintendo as well. And this is just the way of the gaming industry, the way that it is going. Well, let's jump over here to an update of a story we talked about yesterday. And that is Final Fantasy VII Remake. People thought it was potentially going to start making its way over to Xbox for a couple of reasons. Obviously, because we can see now that Phil Spencer and Square Enix have a relationship that they're going to continue to try and build, with Final Fantasy XIV coming over to the platform. And Phil Spencer is saying that he's going to continue to work with Square Enix. Square Enix saying that they're going to continue to try to bring games over to Xbox. So Final Fantasy VII Remake is still, I think, a pipe dream for a lot of people who want this game on the Xbox platform, thinking it will eventually come over. And there was some more hope, as there was an image that was posted from an Xbox Brazil account showing Final Fantasy VII Remake in the picture itself and getting people excited that this was a hint that the actual game would be making its way out to the platform. But a Microsoft spokesperson shut this down, and they say the image was posted in air and removed as it included a title not available on Xbox, basically saying, yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake right now at least isn't coming to Xbox, so don't expect it. But I don't think that completely closes the door. I think at some point the trilogy or something will make its way out onto the platform. Phil's going to continue to work with Square Enix and get these games on there. It seems like, just from the perspective of him trying to continue to fulfill that promise back in XO19, where it seemed like Square Enix and Xbox had an incredible relationship and that we were going to be getting everything from Square Enix in terms of Final Fantasy on the Xbox platform. And then we know what happened the years after that, where everything seemingly fell apart. And now it seems like, again, we are back where the relationship is going to be mended and these games are going to make their way out. But we will see. We'll see with Final Fantasy VII Remake. If you haven't played it yet and you're waiting for it to come to Xbox, it may be a risk right now at this point. But let's talk about some more Call of Duty stuff here, because Call of Duty continues to amaze me that the older Call of Duties are selling so well. And this is because Xbox saved them essentially by restoring these servers and allowing people to jump on and play online with the backwards compatibility. If you have a Series X or a Series X, you can play them, you can buy them digitally. It works seamlessly. It's a great experience on the platform right now. And we talked about how Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was the 5th best-selling game in the month of July last month in the UK, which I thought was extremely impressive. But we have even more impressive news here, and this is that Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is the 4th best-selling game in the UK last month. The older game, obviously, not the newer Call of Duties. So crazy to think about that these older games are selling so well. Maybe it is because of the sale, maybe it is because of the price cut, but at the end of the day, the real reason why these games are selling super well and people are jumping back in is because Xbox went in there and revitalized these servers and made it easily accessible, and they work. There's not too many hackers from lobbies that I've played. You jump in, you get a match right away, and it really is bringing us back to the golden age of the Call of Duty games. And we're just on the lead up now to the brand new Modern Warfare 3, which hopefully will be a great game. But I wonder if when that one comes out, if people are still going to be playing these older Call of Duties, or will that take away all of the hype and all the excitement from what has been created by these servers coming back online. Now let's talk here about Starfield, because Starfield, it's super close now. I can't wait for this game to come out. This is going to be a generational game, in my opinion, and one of the best RPGs. But unless they completely drop the ball and disappoint us, I don't think that they will. But a lot of people have been talking about marketing for this game, and they continue to think there isn't enough marketing. And we're really starting to see it ramp up more and more here, as we are actually now able to learn more about what led up to the events that we are going to be experiencing in Starfield. What happened to bring us to that point? If you go to the Starfield website, it gives a timeline, and you can go through and you can read everything that went on between the start of this timeline to when we're going to start playing Starfield. And that's pretty exciting, because they're already, if you read through this, there's just so much lore, so much backstory that you're going to be able to dive into further when Starfield does drop. I can't wait for this game to come out. It's probably going to be taking up all of my time for the rest of the year. And if you think about the rest of 2023, it's insane the amount of games that are coming out. Even just October alone is one of the most packed months. Thinking about trying to fit all of those in with a game like Starfield is going to hurt my head for a little bit here. And we also have some more stuff here when it does come to Starfield. If I can click here on the right tab, and that is Pete Hines replying with confidence about this game. Somebody said this on Twitter: "That's cool, but we want to know when the game is going gold and when is the pre-download. We don't want to know about chairs," because they released some pretty cool looking Starfield chairs that you can go out and buy. He said here, Cyberpunk did the same thing, which, I mean, fair points. You saw the people shilling the Cyberpunk chairs, telling people it was going to be the greatest game, and then not letting them know about the debacle of what it really was when it launched, which was kind of funny to see. But Pete Hines here responds and says, "Take a deep breath. I have an amazing team. We know what we're doing, which is just to me a very confident reply. Because if you're Pete Hines, you're sitting there on Twitter, you know that if you do reply to this with something like that and it doesn't go right, you're going to be looking very, very bad. It is not good PR to respond with this type of confidence and then it end up not being good, end up being a messy game, a buggy game, all of that type of stuff. So to me, a response like this from Pete Hines gives me more confidence that this game is ready. It's ready to go. Whether it's gone gold or not doesn't really matter. This game is ready to launch in just a couple of weeks down. I can't wait. Can't wait to play it. Now, jumping over here, we have a very cool collaboration that is going to be going on here with Rainbow Six Siege. Master Chief is coming over as an elite skin for Sledge. You can take a look of the video here itself. I think graphically looks awesome. The skin, like, very highly detailed and looks very realistic. Anytime I see Master Chief in anything, I'd love to see it. And then you can go here, you can see some of the stuff, the moves that he has, some of, I guess, the emotes or whatever you want to call it, the way that Master Chief moves within Rainbow Six Siege, using his grapple hook and everything. Cool stuff here. This is a collaboration that I think is kind of unexpected. I didn't really ever expect to see Master Chief in Rainbow Six, but here it is, and I'm all for this happening. I like to see these types of things, these crossovers. I love to see Master Chief in more things because I think he's an incredible character and he could be part of tons of these styles of games, but I like it. And maybe this shows more of that relationship between Ubisoft and Xbox. I mean, Ubisoft Plus is on the platform itself. Their games come into Game Pass here and there. Maybe at some point we will see some more collaborations, some more deals between Xbox and Ubisoft where games get dropped into Game Pass, which is something I definitely would love to see going forward into the future. Maybe some Assassin's Creed games. Maybe craziness would be a day one launch of an Assassin's Creed game or something like that into Game Pass. That probably won't happen because they have their own subscription service, but stuff like that, I think at the end of the day would help out both companies, especially if you look at the results from EA Play on Xbox and how they have enjoyed that relationship. Maybe going forward into the future, Ubisoft Plus looks at how EA is doing on Xbox with added that to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and maybe there will be a tier here where if you want access to Ubisoft Plus, EA Play, and Xbox Game Pass all in one, you have another tier where maybe you pay $5 more a month or something like that. I could see something like that happening in the future as Xbox continues to expand out their subscription base and the different tiers that they are adding in there. We know they just added Game Pass Core, and then the family plan is still hopefully going to be coming down the road. Now let's end off by talking about this. So first of all, I will say IGN did go back and fix this. Destin was out there on Twitter and saying that it was a mistake and it got fixed. We got to talk about this because IGN is a major site. And to me, this oversight is just absolutely insane how this mistake can be made before it goes to production, even if it was an honest mistake, before it goes live, how they allow this to happen. But it just seems like it's too good to be true for this to just be a mistake. They showed off a bunch of new games coming out in 2023. And as you can see here, even a game like Lies of P, which is a day one Xbox Game Pass game, isn't showing up here on the bottom right corner as available on Xbox. It just says PlayStation 5 and PC. And for every game that they did show off here, the same thing occurred: PS5 and PC. It's Mortal Kombat 1 and whatever other games that were in that video. They weren't showing that these games were coming to Xbox when these are third-party games, multi-platform, coming to the Xbox platform at the same time as the PlayStation 5 and the PC. And it calls into question, as a big media site, a big anti-Xbox bias, does IGN have that? Because how does this go out there where tons of people have already seen the video, who are probably going to be thinking that these games are only coming to PlayStation 5 and PC because of something as small as the lower third not having the Xbox logo? The one thing I will say, IGN is a very mainstream gaming website. You're not getting a ton of people in there that are following the industry inside and out. You can almost guarantee that there's a lot of people that probably check in here and there and check out what games are coming out, what's new from Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, all that type of stuff. And they will easily think, by seeing a video like this as it goes live from IGN, a website that they probably trust, that the games that they are showing off that are coming out in 2023 that they would be interested in are not coming out on Xbox. I know this may be a small thing because they did go back and fix it, but I think it's crazy that a huge outlet like IGN makes these mistakes for seemingly, I guess, against the Xbox platform as they forget to put the logo up. But I will leave the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Bye.